On the other side of it stood my mother, half decayed and frowning in rage. She grabbed me by the arm and threw me down the stairs, where I landed on my neck, breaking it with a hard crack. Just before I woke up, my eyes landed on a clothes trunk sitting in the corner. I flew awake in a cold sweat, grabbing my neck. Even knowing it was just a dream, it still didn't sit right with me. I'd promised myself to see a doctor about this, since the grief was getting unbearable. The next night, the dream became even more vivid. I actually tried to stay awake as long as possible, not wanting to see my mom in my dreams. No one can stay awake forever, and I caved at about 3 a.m. The dream started out with my mom sitting on my chest while I lay paralyzed in bed. She stared down at me furiously, holding my phone in her right hand. With her left hand, she pried my mouth open, took the phone, and then proceeded to shove it into my mouth. It went in horizontally, so that it bent my teeth back into my mouth. I could feel it as they broke off, falling back into my throat, where I choked violently on them. Blood overflowed my mouth and poured out of the sides of my cheeks. My mother leaned in and, in a deep, demonic voice, screamed, "Check your phone!" I woke up in tears and jumped out of bed. When it hit me that it had only been a dream, I breathed out a sigh of relief. I looked over at my phone, which had been sitting patiently on my nightstand. Should I? Was the first thought I had. Picking up my phone, I pulled up the Messenger app and scrolled through my contacts. When I finally reached Mom, I stopped. I held my breath and pressed the unblock option. A message immediately came through. "Diana, you have to come back, please. I got myself stuck in the clothes trunk in the basement. I can't get out." The date and time were July 17th, 2020, 4:45 p.m., a literal minute after I had blocked her. It felt as if the world around me had frozen. She couldn't still be in there, right? Dad had to have let her out or something. Unless, maybe that's not what she wanted. The only choice I had now was to look. I flicked the light onto the basement and began my descent down the stairs. I turned around, holding my hand to my mouth to stop myself from vomiting everywhere. I couldn't help myself, and I turned back around to stare at the corpse. There, in her hands, was her phone, her last attempt at escaping and repairing the dead relationship between us.